Have you ever thought about doing a social media detox? I mentioned this in the comments of my last video, and a lot of people had a lot of questions. So I'm going to go through why I've deleted all my social media and what I'm hoping to get out of it. The first thing that gets me is when I see other people's content on social media and it looks like they're having a lot of fun doing it. I think, oh, I want to do that too. That looks like I want to make that my whole identity. And then you see the next person's thing and you think the exact same thing. My brain just can't cope with seeing all sorts of different things. It gets me right off track of the goals that I set myself. So that's the first thing that I need to fix. The next problem I've got gets most people. You aren't supposed to see every other creative on the planet. There are billions of people on this planet. But social media starts to show you the tiny handful of people that are creating in the same way that you are. And that makes you feel like you're not special and unique, or there's nothing interesting about what it is that you're doing, because it feels like everybody's doing it. But it's not everybody. It's just a few hundred people in billions of other people. It's just that social media is just showing you those people. If you can do away with that and start working in a vacuum again, it really does wonders for your creativity. Then we have the dreaded micro distractions. This is when you drag something onto your computer and you can see that it's going to take 20 seconds for it to complete. So you take your phone out and then suddenly you're like, oh, look at all this stuff that's happening in this box. And you get totally distracted. You realize you've got to send some messages, or you think, oh, I haven't posted to Instagram for a little while, I better do that, or I better check my other social media. And you just get totally distracted. And all you had to do was sit and wait for 20 seconds for your computer to do something. And you find that you're training your brain to require constant stimulation. You know, I was around when mobile phones were brand new. My friends just got the first ones and they were rubbish. They didn't stimulate at all. It was just communicating with friends. You know, that was the fun part of it. But now we need this constant stimulation, and I need to just retrain my brain to not need that stimulation. I don't want it to suddenly say, hey, you got a minute, why don't you just look at some random people on the internet for a bit? That's not what we need as humans. And then there's the constant notifications, this constant you know, you just be doing something, you'd be busy working, and then it's like, hey, guess what? There's some person on the opposite side of the planet, they want to send you a message, and you just stop what you're doing. That would never happen in any other environment. You're busy doing something and all of a sudden you're just totally distracted. I would go so far as to say that my mobile phone is pretty rude, the way that it interrupts me all the time. And then there's the main reason that I deleted all the social media, just for now. It's this car crash content. And sometimes I'm talking about literally car crash content. This is like, for some reason, my phone just wants to show me dash cam videos of people crashing on motorways and stuff like that. And it starts to seep into your brain and make you think that you've been in an accident or that you're going to be in an accident. It puts you in a kind of state of paranoia. That's a weird phenomenon that we're only just starting to deal with. I think you get it from certain TV shows, but having it just constant streaming into your brain from your phone is not good. So those are the bad things. But what are the things that I'm looking out for? What are the problems that I'm actually trying to fix? Because I'm obviously not quitting social media. I'm just trying to recalibrate my relationship with it. I'm looking out for which platforms I actually miss and why. This is me just trying to figure out which platforms actually bring me value. Some of them, it might be entertainment, but I'm really looking for actual tangible value that can help me put food on my table for my kids. That's what I'm really looking for. Anything else is a bit of a distraction. Then I'm looking to see if there was any impact from these things disappearing, because in all honesty, if there was no impact from me getting rid of something that's taking up my time, then I probably don't need it. Then there are the things that matter the most to me, which is the relationships on the internet. Which ones did I miss and why? The best thing about social media is talking to people that you know well and people that you don't know well from all around the world. You just kind of get this big picture of how the world works. And I love that about social media. So I'm keeping an eye on what part of that I miss the most. I'm going to be keeping an eye on my morning routine as well. A very funny thing happened on day one when I deleted all these apps. Usually I'll wake up and I'll check social media, but it got to about lunchtime and I was looking for my phone. I was like, where have I put my phone? And I went upstairs and it was just sat by my bed charging. I hadn't checked it for almost an entire half of a day because I just didn't need to. And that just means that my whole morning routine was much calmer. It didn't care about anything other than the things I needed to get done. It was just such a refreshing feeling. And it's those sorts of things that I'm looking for. And I'm also looking for, where does my brain go when it's unstimulated? I go off for walks, I go off for runs, and this is where I come up with most of my creative thoughts, most of the ideas for this YouTube channel or other projects that I've got on the go. When you're unstimulated, your brain goes into this funny mode where it starts being really creative. In fact, I made a video about this. It totally bombed. I don't know why. It was a good video, but I made a video about this, of basically how to be more creative. So I'm wondering, where does my brain go in normal circumstances when it's much less stimulated? Does it give it a bit more space to breathe? I don't know. That's what I'm keeping an eye on. If you've ever thought about doing a social media detox and you want to see the tangible benefits that it has on me as someone who uses social media a lot and helps other people with social media, then if you're not subscribed, make sure you are subscribed, because I'm going to make that video probably in about 30 days, just really talking about the positive impacts and the things that have happened in my brain having given up everything just for a little bit. So I hope that kind of addresses some of the reasons why I quit all social media for a little bit. I haven't done it in a big way. I'm not trying to be over dramatic, and I'm not trying to be one of these people that's like, hey guys, yeah, so I'm quitting social media. Does anybody want to say, please stay, Johnny, please stay? That's not what I'm doing. I went quietly. I just wanted to address some of the comments that I had on some of the other videos and some of the people that have asked me about it in messages. That's what's going on. I'm just trying to recalibrate and just give myself a little bit of space in my brain. So yeah, I hope that brings you some insight anyway, and I will see you in the next video.